everybody, how are you today? Hopefully you're doing well. We'll continue with our lesson, cell. So today we will talk about plant cell and the parts of the plant cell. To start up, we'll start up with nucleus. Nucleus has the same function as it was in animal cell, that it is the main control center of the cell. It orders all activities, whatever is going to happen in the cell. Next up is vacuole. Vacuole, as you know, that it stores liquid water, food and other waste. But the difference between the vacuole in animal and plant cell, as you can see, that it is in the middle of this plant cell and it is quite bigger than it was in the animal cell, and that is because plants do need a lot of water to store. Mitochondria, as we studied, that it is the powerhouse, the kitchen of the cell, the place where energy is made. It has the same function in plant cell too, that it makes the energy for the cell. Now we come to cytoplasm. As we studied before in the animal cell, that cytoplasm is the one that is inside the cell and it runs through the cell membrane. It is the one which supports all the parts inside the cell. Now we come to cell membrane. Cell membrane is the checkpoint of the cell. It is the part which works in coordination with the nucleus and checks what is going in and out of the cell. So it's the same work as the animal cell cell membrane that we talked about before. Today in plant cell membrane also has the same job and function. It checks what is going in and out of the cell. Now we talk about the two different things that the plant cell have, which animal cell do not have. The first thing is the cell wall. Cell wall basically is an extra protection to the cell of the plant. It has the cell membrane and plus cell wall, which gives an extra protection to the plant cell. Now we'll talk about the other part of the plant cell, which is different and not found in animal cell. It is the chloroplast. The chloroplast is that part of the cell which produces a chemical called chlorophyll. This chlorophyll chemical gives plant its green color, which is needed for the plants to produce and make their own food. So how are cells organized? For unicellular organisms such as this one that you can see on your screen, it is quite simple. This organism has only one cell that performs all life functions. But on the other hand, the multicellular organisms are more specialized. They have different functions to do at the same time. For example, our own body contains many different cell types that have specific functions. We have muscle cells, for example, that are specialized in movement. Red blood cells, on the other hand, they carry oxygen to other cells. As we know, cells are the building blocks of the body. Similar cells working together at the same job or function, they form a tissue. A group of tissue that work together to perform a specific function, it forms an organ. And each organ has a function to do. We call it an organ system. Let us say heart, for example, has an organ system called the circulatory system, which pumps blood to all parts of the body. In the same way, we don't have just heart, but we also have lungs and let us say liver, the brain. All these organs make up their organ systems, and all these organ systems work together to perform different functions, and this is what an organism a characteristic is, that all these functions make up an organism.